Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Hello? Hello? Students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we are going to continue the topic of conjunctivitis, and in the last class, you all know that we have been gone through different types of conjunctivitis. Today we will be continuing with that, and today we have to cover the topic of allergic conjunctivitis. So this is the PDF presentation, not the PowerPoint presentation, and I hope that you all have this presentation. Let's jump on to today's topic. What are these critical conjunctivitis, mucopurulent, purulent, membranous, pseudomembranous, angular, chlamydial, adult inclusion conjunctivitis, trachoma. Okay, the WHO classification of the trachoma. We have gone through all this. Signs of trachoma. What are the consequences of trachoma, the tracheasis? All we have gone through in the last class. This was a big topic. And one of the students in the last class asked me about the perennial allergic conjunctivitis. Today we will be covering that topic also. Neonatal or the ophthalmia neonatum, we have covered this one also. Yes, this pharyngoconjunctival fever and the epidemic keratoconjunctivitis. So one of these are the two variants of the adenoviral conjunctivitis. We have gone through this also last week. Molluscum contagiosum. Yes, this is today's topic. I hope you all can see this. Is that right? Can you all hear me now?
அது ஒண்ணு ஆஃப் பண்ணாங்கிட்டு வரோம் நாங்க அதை அடைச்சு விடணும் சைடு.
Now, allergic conjunctivitis, as the name suggests, this is a type of conjunctivitis that occurs due to the allergen reaction, and it might be, you all know that allergic reaction might be humoral or cell mediated. Humoral is always an immediate type of allergy, and cellular is always a delayed type of allergy. Okay. Now there are different types of allergic conjunctivitis. One is the simple allergic conjunctivitis, and then there are variants of simple allergic conjunctivitis like the hay fever, the seasonal allergic conjunctivitis, the perennial allergic conjunctivitis. Okay. The other type is the atopic keratoconjunctivitis. The third one is vernal keratoconjunctivitis, Then there is GPC, giant papillary conjunctivitis. Then there is follicular keratoconjunctivitis, and then finally there is contact dermatoconjunctivitis. These are all different types of the allergic conjunctivitis. Okay, let's start with the first one, the simple allergic conjunctivitis. Basically, this is a very mild type of allergy where there is itching, there is hypothermia, there is hyperemia, and then there is mild skin irritation. This is a very hello. Now, in simple allergic conjunctivitis, there is itching, hyperemia, papillary response. Now, remember that papillary reaction is a hallmark of allergic type of conjunctivitis. Congestion is also found in any type of conjunctivitis, while itching is again a diagnostic symptom of allergic conjunctivitis. Itching doesn't occur in other type of conjunctivitis, while in simple allergic conjunctivitis or any other type of allergic conjunctivitis there is itching, and itching is the hallmark of this thing. Etiology: hay fever conjunctivitis, commonly associated with hay fever. We all know that uh, uh, running nose. This is a very common, symptom of allergy to the different types of uh, allergens like pollen, grass, and animal dandruff. Okay, so in case of uh, yes, the other is seasonal allergic conjunctivitis. It means that in hay fever conjunctivitis, we will have to have an allergen. We need to have an allergen. That is the uh, either it might be dandruff, it might be pollen, it might be grass, or some dust. Dust can also cause allergy. They cause hay fever conjunctivitis. Then there is seasonal allergic conjunctivitis. Basically, this occurs in spring season, and the grass pollens they through the aerosol mediated transmission. They enters the eye and causes the allergic conjunctivitis. Then there is perennial allergic conjunctivitis. It occurs due to the house dust and mites. It's not that common. Perennial means it can occur throughout the year. It's not necessary that it occurs in some season. So perennial, it is allergic type of conjunctivitis basically due to dust. Seasonal is due to season, some specific season, and then there is hay fever, especially due to the allergic, secondary to the allergic rhinitis like pollens, grass, and animal dandruff. Okay. What is the pathophysiology? It is characterized by, you all know that allergy is characterized by vasodilatation, and then there is leakage from the blood vessels, there is excessive permeability to exudation. This vascular response of allergy is shared by inflammation. So, in inflammation also you see that there is vascular dilatation, then there is leakage. Okay, in simple allergic conjunctivitis also there is vascular dilatation, and then there is increased permeability and leakage from the blood vessel that leads to exudation. The cellular response in inflammation, we all know, is characterized by specific type of cells like neutrophils, basophils, monocytes, macrophages, while in allergic conjunctivitis, the cellular response is a little bit different. What are the cells that are characterized by the allergic reaction? These are basically the eosinophils, the plasma cells, and the mast cells. And they all release the histamine and histamine-like substances. We all know histamine is actually a allergen product, and therefore it also causes the different types of allergic responses, histamine. And what happens to conjunctiva during an allergy? The conjunctiva basically swells due to the edema, and then there is congestion, there is papillary reaction. Okay? So conjunctival response is characterized by triad. Number one, swelling, which is called chemosis. Number two, congestion. And number three, papillary hyperplasia. These are the three types of reaction that occurs in the conjunctiva. The clinical picture in all these type of allergic conjunctivitis, there is basically watery or scanty discharge, and then there is edema of the lids, there is papillary reaction, and diagnosis is made from the typical sign and symptom. Here, you don't have to take the swab for culture and sensitivity and then staining like in other type of microbial conjunctivitis. In allergic type of conjunctivitis, we can't take the swab because it's not a microbial origin. It's an allergic reaction. So basically, it is diagnosed on the basis of signs and symptoms. Here is one of the picture of allergic conjunctivitis. Not only the conjunctiva is swollen, this is chemosis. I hope that you can see this chemosis over here. Chemosis. Conjunctiva is swollen. The fluid is present underneath the conjunctiva. The whole conjunctiva is swollen. The cornea is clear. Nothing has happened to it. And it is also characterized by a little bit swelling of the eyelids. Whenever there is allergic reaction in the conjunctiva, it spreads to the lids also. What is the treatment? Basically, we can use the tears for the as an lubricants. We should use the mast cell stabilizers because these are the mast cells which release histamine. So if we will stabilize mast cells, histamine will not be released and there will be no symptoms and signs of allergic reaction. So we have to use the mast cell stabilizers in order to prevent the release of histamine. On the other hand, we can also use antihistamines themselves. Now, what are the mast cell stabilizers? These are the sodium chromoglycate, these are the nadopromil, and then the lodoxamide. These are the mast cell stabilizers. In case of antihistamines, we have imidestin, epinestin, levocabestin, and the piperacillin. These are these will really give rise to the symptomatic relief. Okay? Combined preparation of an antihistamine and a vasoconstrictor. Why we are using vasoconstrictor along with antihistamine? Because we know that vasodilatation is a hallmark of allergic reaction, and with vasodilatation there is also leakage. So we can prevent these sequels by giving a vasoconstrictor along with the antihistamine in order to augment the reaction, in order to augment the therapeutic reaction. Okay. Similarly, there are some medicines which have both antihistamine and mast cell stabilizing property. These are the ketotifen, olopatadine, and isolastine. Nowadays, we are using mostly the ketotifen and olopatadine. These are very nice products which basically affect in two ways. That is, they not only stabilize the mast cell, but they also are antihistamines. Another class of drugs that can be used to treat the allergic conjunctivitis are the topical steroids. They are also very effective, but they are used less oftenly. Why? Because steroids have a lot of adverse reactions. You can't use steroids for a longer period of time. And then these steroids may also cause cataract. These may also lead to glaucoma. These are some of the topical side effects that steroids may cause. Similar, Similarly, the steroids can cause systemic side effects. For example, they can lead to softening of the bones, and then they can also lead to secondary infection in the body, anywhere in the body. They reduce the immune system of the body, and therefore there are many reactions. Similarly, along with the topical antihistamines, you can also use oral antihistamines. Oral antihistamines include diphenhydramine, which you usually use in the form of syrup or the tablet Avil. This is a very old product which we all use for the allergies, the tablet Avil. Similarly, we can also use loratadine and ceftriaxone, which are basically the newer anti-allergic oral antihistamines, and they are present in the form of tablet digits tablets. Zyrtec, very commonly used nowadays. Everyone have these tablets at home. They use it. Then there is a major variant of allergy which is called vernal keratoconjunctivitis. What we call it? Vernal keratoconjunctivitis. It is also called spring catarrh. Very common in our OPD and very common especially in the young age between 5 to 15 years. This is the age where the vernal keratoconjunctivitis is very common. Okay? This is basically a hypersensitivity reaction to any type of allergen, and it causes atopic allergic conjunctivitis. Immunoglobulin E basically plays a role, and then there is history of atopic disease in these cases, and the patient will give you some history of systemic allergy. And when you will check the blood film of these patients, you will find increased level of eosinophils and increased level of serum immunoglobulin E levels. Okay, uh, I already told you people's having age of 4 to 5 years up to 15 years. 20 years is a little bit higher age in our community. This vernal keratoconjunctivitis is more common between 5 to 15 years. Okay? And then it's more common in the summer season, the season nowadays. Many patients comes to OPD with vernal keratoconjunctivitis. And then the climate also makes the difference. Our city's climate, our province climate is basically tropical, and therefore it is more common in this climate. While in countries which are cold, there is not much, hot weather. They do not have such prevalence of keratoconjunctivitis, vernal keratoconjunctivitis, or VKC. What is the pathology? Basically, there is conjunctival hyperplasia, there is adenoid hyperplasia, there is fibrous lesion proliferation and vasodilatation. And then what are the symptoms? Strict catarrh, it is characterized by itching. I told you, whatever type of allergic conjunctivitis it is, either it is simple allergic conjunctivitis or vernal keratoconjunctivitis, it is very much marked by allergy. This will be the first symptom of the patient. Itching. The patient will come with severe itching, and then sometimes there is mild photophobia, there is watering from the eye, there is rope discharge, and then there is sometimes heaviness of the lids just because of swelling of the lids along with the conjunctiva. Vernal keratoconjunctivitis can be divided into basically three forms. Number one is the palpebral form, number 2 is the limbal form, and number 3 is the mixed form. In the palpebral form, basically it's the palpebral, the upper palpebral conjunctiva, which is very much involved. There is papillary reaction, which is found in the upper palpebral conjunctiva or the upper dorsal conjunctiva. Those papillae sometimes enlarge in size in such a way that their name changes to giant papillae. These are cobblestone-like appearance. The giant papillae they present in the upper palpebral conjunctiva, and then there is the other type, which is called the limbal vernal keratoconjunctivitis. In this type, the upper palpebral conjunctiva is devoid of any sign. There are no signs over here, but the signs exist just around the limbus. The patient will be having signs around the limbus. You will find papillary reactions around the limbus, which is glistening in appearance. Then there is the third variant, which is the mixed type. In mixed type, what you will find that there will be both characteristics of the palpebral as well as the limbal vernal keratoconjunctivitis. This picture in front of your screen, you can see this is the palpebral reaction in case of the first type of VKC, which is called palpebral VKC. You can see very clearly over here that okay, now this picture is clear. In the first picture over here, yes, this arrow showing you. This is just a diffuse papillary reaction, a mild type of VKC, or you can say that's the beginning stage of VKC. Now, in this second picture, you can see that this papillary reaction is now getting hypertrophic. It is enlarging in size. In the third picture, you can see that this papillary reaction, this have taken the shape of cobblestone appearance. And then they have finally enlarged so much so that there is very less space in between these large giant papillae. Because this is the giant papillary reaction over here. It's large papillae, which are basically the diagnostic sign of vernal keratoconjunctivitis. Okay? I told you the palpebral is also called the bulbar form. Here you can see that there is gelatinous accumulation of the papillary reaction in the form of dots around the limbus. Okay, and then we call it the limbal type of VKC. Okay. Yes, over here. Now, these dots, the glistening dots just around the limbus, they are called Trenta's dots or the Trenta's spots. This is the favorite Viva question in case of VKC. What are Trenta's dots? Basically, these are the diagnostic signs of the bulbar or the limbal type of VKC, where you see glistening type of swellings, which are papillary reactions around the limbus. Then there is the mixed type, where you find the whole characteristic of the bulbar and the palpebral form. Yeah, this is another picture. The cobblestone papillae. Okay, this is not that much clear, but still, this is just a schematic diagram just to show you the three types. Number one type, that is the palpebral type of VKC. Number two type, the bulbar type or the limbal type of VKC. And then the third is a mixed type where you find both the palpebral and the limbal variants. here is these arrows. These are showing you the glistening type of Frentas dots. Yes, this is sometimes slide which comes in your static station in exams. These are the Frentas dots. Over here near the limbus, you can see these are glistening appearances, small dots. Okay, these are visible over here. Again, over here, you can see these Trantas doors. This is the actual picture. These are the small Trantas doors. You can see this is very clear over here. Yeah. Again, here, this is the limbal type of VKC, where you find signs at the limbus. They are small, papillary reactions have coalesced with each other. These have joined each other so that a continuous glistening appearance at the limbus is covering over here. Over here, these are again types of Trentas dots. This is Trenta dot, this is Trenta's dot, this is Trenta's dot. Okay. It's not the hard and fast rule that you find these type of pentas dots. You can find these type of pentas dots also. Now, in case of vernal keratoconjunctivitis, there are complications. It can spread onto the cornea also, and it can cause punctate epithelial keratitis. Sometimes it also causes, ulceration over the cornea, which is called shield ulcer. In punctate epithelial keratitis, what you will see that there are small dots onto the cornea, the punctate dots onto the cornea because of the rubbing of the palpebral giant papillae with the cornea. Each time the eye blinks, the giant papillary reaction, the giant papillae will strike the cornea and they will produce punctate reaction. Similarly, in later cases, there is ulcerative vernal keratitis. There is ulcer, especially in the upper part of the cornea, just because of this rubbing of the upper lid with the cornea and will produce a shield ulcer. Okay? Over here, you can see in the first picture, the cornea have these small dots. This is punctate epithelial keratitis because of the rubbing effect of the upper lid with the upper part of the cornea. Similarly here, you see an ulcer. This is also because of the rubbing effect of the mobile stones that are present in the upper eyelid that have, produces along with the striking of that with the cornea, they have produced this shield ulcer. This is also shield ulcer. This is also shield ulcer. This, the shape also will inform you that the variant, the type is shield ulcer. Sometimes plaques are also formed onto the cornea. Sometimes there is subepithelial scarring, and sometimes there is pseudogerontoxon. Pseudogerontoxon. What is true gerontoxon? True gerontoxon is basically another name of arcacinitis. And what is pseudogerontoxon? Is basically a cousin VKC of limbal type. Okay? So these are two different things: the true gerontoxon and the pseudogerontoxon. Over here, it's not that much clear, so we will not get this picture in the design. Okay. How do you treat the vernal keratoconjunctivitis? Basically, in these cases, because this is a severe type of allergic conjunctivitis, you have to use steroids. In simple allergic conjunctivitis, you avoided steroids, but over here, you have to use. You are indulged to use the steroids topically just because the other anti-allergics like the mast cell stabilizers, sodium chromoglycerate, lidoxamide, or the antihistamines like the levacabestin or ketamestin. These basically they are also effective, but they uh, will not have too much effect in curing the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. this is, our, we don't have any way out. We have to use steroids. Okay, if you are not using potent steroids like prednisolone, you can use mild steroids like fluoromethalone, like betamethasone, and then a little bit powerful dexamethasone. But the mildest form is the fluoromethanol. Yeah. Avoid the allergens. We know that allergy is always avoided. You can protect yourself from allergies by keeping yourself away, far away from those allergy substances. Then you can use cool compresses. You can keep the lid hygiene. You can use the muscle stabilizer I told you, and you can use the antihistamine or the combination of both these, like I told you, ketotifen, and then yes, ketotifen is a combination. And you can use steroids, the mild steroids, the moderate steroids. And if nothing works among these medication, then you have to give a supratarsal steroid injection that is mostly in the form of triamcinolone, because this is the longest acting steroid available. It will have effect until 1 month, while other steroids like dexamethasone, prednisolone, they have very short acting reaction. They will have effect for 1 to 2 days. They will not affect for a month. So if you are giving, you are using an invasive technique, that is, you are using an injection, try to use some steroid which is longest acting, and their drug of choice is triamcinolone. If you don't get any benefit from all these medications, or a person who is, in which steroids are contraindicated, then what is the modality in front of you? Then you can use immunomodulators, the cyclosporins, because these are also the medications which will reduce the allergic reaction. But the side effect is that they will also reduce your immune potency in the body. Okay? Then there is tacrolimus. This is a newer, drug therapy that was used earlier for only for skin allergies, but nowadays they are practicing it for the use of eye also. Tacrolimus, it is being instilled in the eye only in the refractive cases. Acetylcysteine, this is basically a mucolytic agent, okay? And it is useful in VKC, just to remove the mucus filaments or deposit that might occur as a complication of VKC. Okay, let me tell you one more thing, that antibiotics can also be used in order to reduce the secondary infection or the associated infection. Otherwise, uh, systemic antihistamines are very much useful. Similarly, immunosuppressive medications are also useful. Aspirin, basically, this is a blood thinning medicine, but it is also under trial. And then one thing more is that what are the surgical procedures that you can do in case of allergic conjunctivitis? The shield ulcer. Shield ulcer is a very bad ulcer. It can perforate the cornea. So you can use some gluing objects which basically give support to the cornea. Or you can even use uh, the the amniotic membrane grafts also. Okay, the amniotic membrane grafts are also helpful. Then another variant of allergic conjunctivitis is atopic keratoconjunctivitis. What is it? Atopic keratoconjunctivitis. An adult equivalent of vernal keratoconjunctivitis associated with atopic atopic dermatitis. Basically, atopic dermatitis is a disease of eye that is always associated with the skin problem. The patient is having atopic dermatitis, and along with that, will be having the sign and symptoms of allergy in the eye also. There will be itching, there will be mucus discharge, photophobia. These are all the sharing same sign and symptoms in the allergic conjunctivitis. But the diagnostic sign is that this patient will be having some skin allergic. Yes, this is the picture. Over here you can see that along with the eye allergy, the patient is also having allergic dermatitis. Over here you can see very easily. The patient is having allergic reaction in the conjunctiva, but he's also having the same thing in the skin. So whenever skin is involved along with the conjunctiva, you can see the. Okay, there is another variant which is called GPC, giant papillary conjunctivitis. In this type, this is a different one from vernal conjunctivitis. In this type, you will only see giant papillary reaction in the upper palpebral conjunctiva, and it is especially prevalent in contact lens users. Yes, the contact lens users which have been using chronically, that is, they have been using contact lens for a longer period of time, they will have giant papillary conjunctivitis. The best thing is to avoid contact lens. Then you can also use, yeah, here is the picture. Over here you can see these are the giant papillary and the upper palpebral conjunctiva. No other sign and symptom of allergic reaction. The patient will be designated as GPC, that is giant papillary keratoconjunctivitis. We don't have to go into the detail of this type of conjunctivitis. Okay, Flectular conjunctivitis, this is again a nodular reaction that is very close to the limbus, and the patient will have, this is basically an allergic reaction to the Staphylococcus aureus. Staphylococcus aureus reaction in the lid or cornea secondarily leads to a allergic reaction in the eye that is characterized by flectular conjunctivitis. I hope there might be a picture one. Yeah, this is the picture. Yeah, this is a nodule just near the limbus, a single nodule, not many nodules, just a single nodule. The whole conjunctiva is congested, and over here there is just a single big nodule, which is a flectinule. This is the flectinule, and the conjunctivitis is called the flectinular conjunctivitis. We don't have to go into the details. This is not a part of the syllabus. Okay, so we will not go into the details of the okay. Now the other types of allergic conjunctivitis, they are also not a part of your syllabus. But let's see if there is anything remaining over here. I think cicatrizing conjunctivitis, yes, cicatrizing conjunctivitis is still remain that we have to discuss, and this is also a very important type of conjunctivitis. I think we should go through this cicatricial conjunctivitis in the next class. You can't digest so many types of conjunctivitis in a single class. Okay, still there is a lot to go through. Now this is the question answer session. I invite you, if you have any questions, I'm unmuting it. You can ask any question now. Students, hello. Is there any question from the student side in this allergic type of conjunctivitis? Please ask any question if you have any query. Students, are you wake up or?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask question, but not from the allergic conjunctivitis, but I want to ask question from the herpes simplex virus conjunctivitis. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you explain the dendrites? Because sir, in the book there is written that the multiple dendrites are formed in the multiple dendrites are formed in the herpes simplex virus conjunctivitis. Sir, so what are the dendrites?
Basically, dendrites is a epithelial, corneal epithelial erosion. Okay, and
Okay.
the shape give it the name dendrite. It's like branching of a tree, and these branching of a tree, they basically gives rise to the dendritic formation. And the other typical sign of dendritic ulcer is that these branches of it, like a tree, they actually end up into two type of ends. One is the swollen end, and the other is tapering end. If they end up in tapering end, what are they? Pseudodendrites. Or if they end up in swollen ends, they are true dendrites. Now, dendrite name is given due to the shape, and they basically erode the cornea. So that is why whenever the corneal epithelium is insulted, it will give rise to ulcer formation, and this will also give you a stain positive reaction with fluorescent. Fluorescent only stains when there is insult to the corneal epithelium. So dendritic ulcer, this is basically either in the center, mostly in the center of the cornea. It's not necessarily single. There might be many dendrites onto the cornea, anywhere onto the cornea. Okay?
Okay. Means so basically these are the ulcers which take the form of the like the branches of the trees.
Yes,
Means
they take the
okay.
shape of branches of a tree. That's why the name
Okay, sir.
dendrite is given. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
Any
sir.
other question from your side, all the students? Okay, this is very unlucky to have this online classes. Basically, what we were able to explain in front of you all students on the slides, and then the direct communication, that was the best way. But this is, in the circumstances like nowadays in these corona situation, so you should take it these classes, these are also a type of gift for you students. So you have to take it seriously. Just attend these. If you do not understand 100%, and if you can get only 50% from it, that is also enough. And we hope that inshallah after September, when the classes will be on, we will try to complete the remaining syllabus, but we will also try to, if we will have extra classes, we will try to revise all these classes which we have been taking online. We will try this also. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.